Every night before closing, a young supermarket cashier dialed the same disconnected phone number. She never spoke for long, just one sentence, then she hung up. For nearly 4 years, she never missed a single night. Until one rainy evening, someone finally answered. The town of Westbridge stayed awake later than most places. Neon signs glowed through the rain, cars moved slowly across wet streets. And inside a small 24-hour supermarket, Emily Carter worked the night shift alone. 26 years old, gray hoodie, messy dark hair tied back loosely, tired eyes softened by quiet kindness. Every night after the final customer left, Emily locked the front doors, turned off half the lights, then sat alone inside the employee break room. And always at exactly 11:47, she dialed the same phone number. Most employees never noticed, but one new coworker did. His name was Noah, 29 years old, quiet, observant. One stormy evening, he accidentally overheard Emily speaking softly into the phone. "I hope you're okay wherever you are." Then she ended the call. Noah looked confused. "Who are you talking to?" he asked gently. Emily froze for a moment, then quietly answered, "My brother." Rain tapped softly against the supermarket windows. Emily stared down at the glowing phone screen in her hands. "His name was Daniel," she whispered. Years earlier, Daniel worked late nights too. Every evening after work, he called Emily during her break. Sometimes they talked for hours, sometimes only a few minutes. But no matter how difficult life became, Daniel always ended every call the same way. "Hey sis, pick up when you can." Then, one winter night, everything changed. Emily had been busy working the register during a holiday rush. Her phone vibrated 3 times inside her pocket. Daniel called, again and again. But she didn't answer. "I'll call him back later," she thought. That night, Daniel's car slid off an icy highway during heavy snow. He died before sunrise. The final voicemail he left her was never finished. Noah sat quietly beside her listening. Emily's voice trembled softly. For months after he died, I kept calling his voicemail. At first, just to hear his voice again, but after a while, the messages became something else. Updates, memories, small pieces of life she still wanted to share with him. She smiled sadly. I think part of me believed, if I kept leaving messages, he wouldn't feel completely gone. Years passed. The phone company eventually disconnected Daniel's number, but Emily still called it every night anyway. Till one rainy evening, someone answered. Emily's entire body froze. A quiet older man spoke softly through the static. "Hello?" Emily couldn't breathe. For one impossible second, she almost believed it was Daniel. The man explained gently that the number had recently been reassigned to him. He apologized for answering by accident. Emily wiped tears from her eyes and quietly explained everything. The line stayed silent for a long moment. Then the man said softly, "I think your brother would be very grateful that someone still remembers him this much." Emily closed her eyes, and for the first time in years, the guilt inside her chest felt a little lighter. The next night, Emily sat alone in the break room again. The rain still fell softly outside. Her phone rested quietly in her hands. 11:47 arrived, but this time, she didn't make the call. Instead, she opened Daniel's final voicemail one last time. "Hey sis, pick up when you can." Emily smiled through tears, then gently deleted the message. After that night, Emily still worked the late shift at the supermarket. The city lights still reflected across the rain outside. But something inside her had finally changed. Because sometimes, healing begins when we stop trying to hold on to someone's voice and finally allow their love to stay quietly inside us instead.